Yo, what is up guys, it's Pedro here, and in today's video I will be talking about a report from Dan Graziano that the Washington Commanders would love to add a talented wide receiver, including guys like Devonte Adams and Deontay Johnson. If you guys are new, make sure to subscribe, hit that like button and that notification bell as well, all that good stuff. It really does help out a ton for the algorithm and the channel. Also check out BetUS. Let's get right into it. So woke up kind of to this report and I've been doing some other things today, but decided to make a video about this right now because I thought it was interesting. You know, the Commanders are a rebuilding team and they're probably not going to win a lot this year. And even though, you know, some things have been encouraging so far, but, you know, usually teams that are rebuilding or are like 5, 6, 7 win teams aren't going to be buyers at the trade deadline. But the Commanders are in an interesting situation because they have a young rookie QB. They're trying to add weapons, so they could, if the price is right, maybe go after a Devonte Adams, maybe go after a Deontay Johnson or a Cortland Sutton, depending on what they want to do. And just because they'll buy in terms of a receiver doesn't mean they won't trade some other guys. Maybe they'll I'm not saying this is going to happen, just hypothetical. Maybe they'll trade Jonathan Allen, maybe Daron Payne, maybe, I don't know, someone on the offense. I don't know. Maybe they will. That could happen. But I think that adding a receiver wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. I just don't know if Devonte Adams is super realistic, especially after all the talking he did about the Commanders and how their fan base is the worst. He would never want to play, something like that. He would never want to play there. But yeah, he talked, Dan Graziano, NFL reporter for ESPN, pretty reliable guy. He connected the Rams as potential suitors for Deontay Johnson, Devonte Adams, and also mentioned the Rams, Chiefs, Commanders, and Cowboys would also all love to add a talented receiver. So makes sense. Honestly, the Rams, I don't see why they want a receiver. I mean, I guess I do because Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua are out, but like long term, those guys are going to be fine. And yeah, you're probably not going to win this year with all the injuries you're having. But the other teams, Chiefs, Marquise Brown's out. They are Super Bowl contenders. Cowboys are playoff contenders. So I guess, that makes sense for those teams. But I don't know how much I would give up for a guy like Devonte Adams who, is still very good. Don't get me wrong. He's still a very good receiver, but he's getting up there in age. He's 32 years old. How much do you want to give up for a guy that's 32 years old and also just, was hating on your fan base and playing in DC, and basically I think he called it a trash city or whatever, where they play. So I don't know if he's called DC a trash city or if he called Landover, whatever. Besides the point. I don't know. I mean, he's a really good receiver. Don't get me wrong. Last year, 1,100 yards still, 8 touchdowns. Year before, 1,500 yards and 14 tutties. Year before, 1,500 yards, 11 touchdowns. 1,400 the year before with 18 touchdowns. I mean, he's that guy. He was that guy. He's not – I don't think he's a top 3, top 5 receiver anymore, but he's still a number 1 in this league. He's better than Terry. I know a lot of people love Terry. I love Terry. But, Devontae is better, and he's proven it. And Terry, I know a lot of fans have given up on Terry as being an elite guy, as being a number 1 receiver. And maybe he's not a top 10 or he won't be a top 10 guy, but I still think he's a number 1 receiver in this league. And I think that it's just a little bit of an overreaction to the first couple weeks. We'll see what happens, but I still trust in Terry. That's all I'm saying. But that doesn't mean we don't need to add a receiver at all. It does not mean we don't need to add a receiver because I strongly believe we need to help out our young rookie QB. And right now, you got Terry, who, again, I still believe in him, but he hasn't done much this year. And then you got De'Ami Brown, who hasn't done anything. You traded away Jahan Dotson. You got Zacchaeus. You got Noah Brown, who has some potential, but the receiving core isn't looking amazing. So adding a guy is not the worst idea. But real quick, a word from today's sponsor. And a huge shout out to BetUS for sponsoring today's video. Make sure you guys check them out at betus.com. It's really easy to sign up. And if you use my code YouTube150, you get 150% deposit match up to $2,000 on your first 3 deposits. So it's a really good deal. They got the fastest payouts in the industry. And, they got lines for these games. So tonight, you see the Patriots and the Jets. The Jets are 6-point favorites. And you can go down the line. And the Commanders, obviously, will be playing Monday night against the Cincinnati Bengals. And the Commanders currently, and this could change as usual, are 8-point underdogs. They're at Cincinnati. And, I know Cincinnati hasn't had a great season, but they're still a good football team. And the over-under is 47. So you can check them out, betus.com. Worked with them all last season and will be working with them all this season. They got great customer support as well. Make sure you guys check them out. And as usual, all right, so we are back. And again, a huge shout out to BetUS. But for me, I'm not really in on trading for Devonte Adams because of those reasons I talked about before. He's older, 32 years old, and he's still a very good receiver, but he's getting out of his prime. You can start to see it. Like last year, played 17 games, was still good, 1,100 yards, but not the same player he was in 2018 to 2022. And this year so far has had a good start though, 170 yards. And a touchdown. So still think he's a good receiver, elite receiver, top 10 guy. But how much longer is he going to do that for? Is he going to be an elite receiver in 2 years? I don't know. So for me, I don't know if I'm willing to give up what you're going to have to give up to get him, which is probably a first-round pick. And our first-round pick probably going to be a solid pick. And you can get a receiver with that pick, or you can get hopefully a lockdown corner or a franchise left tackle on a rookie deal that's young versus Devonte Adams, who is getting paid a lot of money. Don't know his contract situation, but you might have to extend him. He's older, and you're going to have to give up a draft pick. I rather, use that draft pick on a actual player or on a rookie than on a vet that's 32 years old. And then Deontay Johnson, it's another name that they threw out there. Wouldn't mind it. He is also not young, but he's not old. He's 28. This year has not been good for him. He's played in 2 games, 12 targets, only 34 yards. But let's keep it real. Bryce Young and that Panthers offense has not been good and just has not been receiver friendly. And we've seen in the past, there's 8 something, so sometimes I talk weird a little bit after 8, but yeah, in the past, he has shown a history of being a solid receiver. Not a 1, though. He's not a 1, but rookie year, 680, same year as Terry and Steven Sims, Kelvin Harmon, that. I remember people were having the Steven Sims, Deontay Johnson debate. Then you got 900 the next year, almost 1,200 in 2021, 880, 717. So, and honestly, the 717 was in 13 games, so could have been better if he did play the full season. Probably would have been closer to 1K. So I wouldn't mind Deontay Johnson. You look at his build, 5'10", 183 pounds, probably a little bit frustrated with being in Carolina. Maybe will request a trade. I wouldn't blame him. Again, Bryce Young and that offense has not been good. And maybe his stats will go up with, Andy Dalton, but I think he'll probably be looking to get traded. And I think the Panthers will be looking to get something out of these vets that they have that might be gone in a year or two. So if the price is right, I would not mind trading for someone like Deontay Johnson. Like a 5th round pick, I would do it. I don't know what the market is. Deontay Johnson. I'm just going to look up Deontay Johnson trade because I know he got traded, I believe, this offseason. Let's see. Yeah, I'm just looking at this right here. Blah, blah, blah. But yeah, I mean, basically, they traded for him this past offseason, and they're probably going to be looking to move him. So there's some other options, again, out there as well. I would say Courtland Sutton wouldn't be a bad option, and some names will emerge as we get closer to the trade deadline. Some names will emerge, and if the price is right, I don't mind it. I do not mind it. But I'm not trying to give up a first-round pick for a receiver right now when, again, we're rebuilding, and we can use that first-round pick to help out our young QB. So I'm just trying to late round pick swap. So you're not going to have to give up much for Deontay Johnson, maybe not even a fifth. So we got extra 7th round picks this year. Maybe it's a 7th, a 6th round pick. He's not producing, and it was a late round pick swap. So maybe you can get, a fifth, or I guess Diontae Jackson also got traded. So that is something. So it was Deontay Johnson and a 2024 7th round pick from the Steelers in exchange for Diontae Jackson and a 6th round pick. So maybe a 5th round pick will get the deal done, especially with his not so great year. I'm with it. Add a receiver to the squad, and if he does well, great. If not, you lost the 5th round pick. It's not the end of the world. Maybe he will be a free agent and he'll get a deal and you'll get a comp pick for it anyways. That's how I kind of see the situation. I like that Adam Peters is thinking about adding weapons to this offense and helping out Jaden Daniels. It's the right mindset to have. And I like him potentially being aggressive here. And he's shown that he's willing to make a big move. He did it with Jahan. No one was thinking that was going to happen. At least I wasn't, especially to the Eagles. Traded for a kicker. Traded with the Eagles on the second day of the draft as well. So he's willing to make big moves. But yeah, that is it for today's video. Hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, hit that like button, subscribe if you guys new, and comment down below Jarrett Patterson. And check out BetUS, and peace.